For centuries, whispers of a rogue planet have echoed through the annals of time, an enigmatic celestial body said to move along a hidden path far beyond the reach of ordinary vision. It is a world cloaked in shadow, a harbinger of upheaval, destruction, and renewal. Its name? Nibiru. Some dismiss it as mere legend, a fabrication of ancient mythologies. But what if it is more than that? What if Nibiru is the key to a cycle of cataclysms that has shaped human history for millennia? Across the ruins of lost civilizations, etched into crumbling stone tablets and sacred scriptures, the same story emerges time and time again. The Sumerians, the Babylonians, the ancient Hebrews, all recorded accounts of an apocalyptic deluge, a flood so devastating that it wiped the earth clean of its former age. The Epic of Gilgamesh tells of Ziusudra, a man chosen by the gods to survive the rising waters. In the Bible, Noah is given the same warning. Ancient cultures across the world echo the same tale, of a time when the earth was swallowed by the sea, when the skies raged, and only a handful of survivors remained. Was this flood an act of divine punishment? Or could it have been a celestial event, misunderstood by ancient minds, an event tied to something far greater? Some researchers suggest that these stories were not mere allegories, but records of a real catastrophe, one with origins far beyond Earth. Today, we journey deep into the forgotten past, unraveling the mystery of Nibiru and its undeniable connection to the Anunnaki. Those who, according to the Sumerians, descended from the stars and altered the course of human civilization. Could Nibiru be approaching Earth once more? And if so, what does that mean for us? The answers may be hidden in the whispers of ancient texts, waiting to be uncovered before it is too late. Since the dawn of recorded history, the Sumerians, one of the most advanced and enigmatic civilizations of the ancient world, left behind cryptic inscriptions that speak of a celestial wanderer, a planet unseen by modern eyes yet ever present in the myths of antiquity. They called it Nibiru, a world shrouded in secrecy, hidden beyond the known planets of our solar system, its course dictated by an orbit so vast that it returns to Earth's proximity only once in thousands of years. But Nibiru was not just another distant planet in their accounts, it was something far more significant. They claimed it was the home of the Anunnaki, powerful beings who, according to Sumerian texts, descended from the heavens and altered the course of human history. But were these merely allegorical stories, symbolic myths meant to explain the mysteries of existence? Or were they, as some believe, historical records documenting real events, accounts of cosmic forces that once shaped our world and may soon return to do so again? This very question has intrigued scholars, researchers, and truth-seekers alike, none more so than Zecharia Sitchin, a controversial yet pioneering figure in the study of ancient Mesopotamian texts. Sitchin's interpretations of Sumerian cuneiform tablets suggest that the mention of Nibiru is not metaphorical, but rather a literal reference to a real celestial body, one with an extraordinary, elongated orbit that takes it far beyond the boundaries of our solar system before eventually bringing it back into Earth's vicinity. If Sitchin's hypothesis is correct, then Nibiru's passage through the inner solar system could have left an undeniable mark upon our planet, one that may be found in the great cataclysms of antiquity. Ancient records speak of sudden environmental upheavals, floods of biblical proportions, and periods of chaos that reshaped the very fabric of civilization. Could these disasters have been the result of Nibiru's immense gravitational pull, disturbing Earth's stability, triggering seismic events, or even shifting the poles? Could this celestial force have been the hidden hand behind mass extinctions, lost civilizations, and the rise and fall of empires? And if so, is history preparing to repeat itself? Many dismiss Nibiru as pure fiction, yet modern astronomy suggests that something mysterious may indeed lurk in the outer reaches of our solar system. In 2016, Caltech researchers Dr. Konstantin Batygin and Dr. Mike Brown announced compelling evidence of a hidden giant, a world they called Planet 9. Their calculations suggest that this planet, possibly 10 times the mass of Earth, exerts a gravitational pull on distant celestial objects, warping their orbits in ways that cannot be explained by any known force. Could this be the same planetary body the Sumerians described over 5,000 years ago? Could modern astronomers be on the verge of rediscovering what ancient civilizations already knew? If so, what happens when this hidden force moves closer to Earth once again? If Nibiru is real, if it is more than just a forgotten myth, then what happens when it returns? Have we already begun to see the signs? Increasing seismic activity? Erratic climate patterns? Unexplained disturbances in Earth's magnetic field? Could these be harbingers of something vast and unseen drawing near? And if the legends are to be believed, will the return of Nibiru also mark the return of the Anunnaki? The answers remain elusive, hidden in the void between history and speculation. But one thing is certain. Ancient civilizations did not lightly speak of cosmic upheavals, nor did they weave celestial warnings into their sacred texts without reason. If Nibiru has indeed played a role in Earth's past, then it may still hold dominion over our future. Throughout history, across continents and civilizations, one story has been passed down with eerie consistency. A story of a world consumed by water, of humanity nearly erased, of a chosen few who survived to rebuild. The tale of the Great Flood is found in the myths and sacred texts of cultures separated by thousands of miles and untold centuries. How could such a story, so deeply ingrained in the collective memory of mankind, emerge across distant lands unless it was rooted in an actual event? The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known texts, tells of a man named Ziusudra, later called Utnapishtim by the Babylonians. He was no king, no warrior, but he was wise, and the gods favored him. One day he received a warning. A force beyond his understanding was about to wipe out civilization. The gods had decreed it. But one god, Enki, chose to defy this judgment. He whispered a secret through the walls of Ziusudra's reed hut. A great deluge is coming. You must build an ark large enough to carry your family and the seed of all living things. If you do not, all will be lost. Thousands of years later, the Hebrew Bible would tell a strikingly similar tale. Noah, a man righteous in the eyes of God, was given the same warning. He too was commanded to build an ark, to gather the animals, to prepare for a flood that would cleanse the earth. And when the rain fell, when the waters surged, those who had not heeded the warning perished beneath the waves. But what was the true cause of this disaster? Was it truly divine wrath? Or was it something far more tangible, something rooted in the very fabric of the cosmos? Enter Nibiru, a name whispered in Sumerian texts, describing a rogue planet with a vast elliptical orbit, one that only returns to the inner solar system every few thousand years. If it truly exists, could its passage have triggered the very cataclysms our ancestors desperately tried to warn us about? If Nibiru exists, and if it indeed came close to Earth in the past, its gravitational influence alone could have been catastrophic. Consider what would happen if a massive planetary body, far larger than Earth, approached from the depths of space. Its gravitational pull could have wreaked havoc on the delicate balance of our world, pulling at the oceans like an unseen hand. Tides would rise unnaturally high, overwhelming the land in monstrous waves. Earth's crust could shift, triggering violent earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis of unimaginable scale. Some researchers suggest that such a force might even cause a polar shift, altering the planet's rotation and plunging the world into chaos. Could this be what happened in the distant past? Could this be the true cause behind the Great Flood that reshaped human civilization? The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Hopi, and many indigenous cultures of the Americas speak of a time before the waters came, when the earth was different, when the sky changed and fire rained from above. In Hindu mythology, Manu, like Noah and Ziusudra, was warned of a coming deluge. In China, the Great Flood myth tells of Yu the Great, a hero who fought against the rising waters to save his people. The details change, but the essence remains the same. Something happened, and it happened everywhere. If Nibiru was responsible for these past cataclysms, then the next question is one we dare not ask. Is it coming back? If the flood was not a one-time event, but rather a cycle, a repeating consequence of celestial mechanics, then we may only be waiting for the next great upheaval. Ancient civilizations have long hinted at cyclical destruction, from the Hindu Yuga cycles to the Mayan long count calendar, each suggesting that civilization is periodically reset. Could Nibiru be the missing key to these prophecies? Could its return herald another cataclysm, one that modern society is utterly unprepared for? Even now, strange signs plague our world. Rising sea levels, extreme weather shifts, unexplained magnetic disturbances. Are these the distant echoes of an approaching force, the first tremors of something vast moving through the darkness of space? Or are they merely natural fluctuations, coincidences that have no greater meaning? One thing is certain, our ancestors were not fools. They did not carve warnings into stone without reason. They did not pass down these myths simply as bedtime stories. They were trying to tell us something, to warn us of a truth that we, in our arrogance, have chosen to forget. And if that truth is real, if Nibiru is returning, then the next flood may not be of water, but of something far worse. In the vast expanse of our solar system, beyond the familiar glow of planets we know, exists a chilling possibility, a rogue celestial body whose orbit defies conventional understanding. Known by ancient civilizations as Nibiru, this enigmatic world is not simply a product of myth, nor is it easily dismissed by modern science. In fact, astronomers today cautiously speak of an unseen force, what they refer to as Planet X, a hypothetical planet whose gravitational pull disturbs the delicate dance of distant celestial bodies at the very edge of our solar system. But could this elusive object be one and the same as the legendary planet of the Anunnaki, described meticulously thousands of years ago by the Sumerians? For decades, skeptics have dismissed the concept of Nibiru as mere fiction, a product of superstition and myth. Yet, as modern astronomy advances, startling discoveries continue to emerge. Observations of unusual gravitational effects on distant Kuiper Belt objects suggest something massive and unseen is influencing their trajectories, something powerful enough to warp the very fabric of space around it. Astronomers call this theoretical object Planet X, an invisible giant hidden in the depths of our solar system's outer darkness, its presence betrayed only by subtle gravitational disturbances in the orbits of distant icy worlds. If Nibiru exists, its journey through the solar system would remain hidden for thousands of years before it returns, unseen yet immensely powerful. Some researchers propose that its gravitational pull could cause intense tidal disruptions, setting off tsunamis capable of submerging entire regions. Others suggest that its influence could trigger tectonic instability, leading to earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and even shifts in Earth's axial tilt. While mainstream science remains skeptical of Nibiru, Earth's geological record tells a different story. The Younger Dryas impact event, a sudden global cooling period around 12,800 years ago, remains an unsolved mystery. Some scientists theorize it was triggered by a cosmic force. Could this have been an indirect result of an unknown planetary interaction? And if so, could another event like it be on the horizon? Today, as Earth experiences increasing seismic volatility, shifting magnetic poles, and unprecedented climate anomalies, one must wonder if these events are not random, but rather precursors, symptoms of an approaching celestial giant whose presence has yet to be openly acknowledged. Perhaps modern science, inadvertently echoing the ancient warnings, is slowly uncovering evidence of Nibiru's return. And if the Sumerians were right, then humanity may soon confront a cycle of cosmic upheaval, one we have conveniently forgotten, but which our ancestors knew all too well. If Nibiru is real, then the question that looms even larger is this: what of the Anunnaki? The ancient Sumerians, the first known civilization to record history in writing, spoke of powerful beings who descended from the heavens, the Anunnaki, those who came from above. They were not mere deities in the abstract sense, but tangible rulers, engineers of civilization, and overseers of human destiny. To the Sumerians, these beings were not myth, but memory. Some saw them as gods, others as celestial visitors with knowledge far beyond human comprehension. According to these ancient texts, the Anunnaki shaped humanity itself, granting wisdom, technology, and order. They established great cities, Eridu, Uruk, and Nippur, places where the first sparks of civilization ignited under their guidance. They taught agriculture, astronomy, metallurgy, and governance, steering the course of human advancement as if molding clay in their hands. Yet, the texts also reveal a more unsettling truth. The Anunnaki did not stay. The Sumerians wrote of a time when these great beings departed, leaving behind only their influence, their temples, and their enigmatic warnings. Some texts suggest that they left because their time among humans had ended. Others hint at a great schism between them, conflicts between Enki and Enlil, between those who wished to help humanity and those who saw them as mere workers, a lesser species meant to serve. But one theme remains consistent: they promised to return. This begs a terrifying question. If Nibiru is once again drawing near, does this mean its inhabitants will return with it? Throughout history, cultures around the world have echoed similar tales of divine visitors who arrived, ruled, and vanished, always with the promise of one day returning. The Hopi speak of the Star People, the Mayans awaited the return of Kukulkan, and the ancient Egyptians revered the Neters, powerful beings who walked among them before disappearing into the sky. Could all these myths be distorted memories of the same truth? A truth that the Sumerians preserved in their cuneiform inscriptions? If the Anunnaki were here once, what did our ancestors truly witness? Were these simply advanced humans, priest kings with extraordinary knowledge? Or did the Sumerians document encounters with beings that were not of this earth? In modern times, whispers of this possibility refuse to fade. Ancient astronaut theorists speculate that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial entities who visited Earth in the distant past and could one day return. Could recent unexplained phenomena, UFO sightings, mysterious signals from deep space, inexplicable advancements in human technology, be connected to the movements of Nibiru and the reemergence of its inhabitants? And what happens if they return? Will they come as saviors, continuing their ancient work of guiding humanity? Or will they return as masters, reclaiming what was once theirs? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that they never truly left, that their presence has persisted, hidden within the structures of power, guiding humanity from the shadows, waiting for the time when Nibiru draws close once more. If this is true, then we are not simply watching the skies for a celestial body, we are awaiting the return of those who shaped our very existence. For those who dare to look beyond the veil of ordinary reality, the signs are already here. Strange anomalies plague our world: unpredictable climate shifts, unexplained disturbances in Earth's magnetic field, a surge in seismic activity that seems to grow stronger with each passing year. Could these be the first warnings of something vast, something unseen, something exerting its influence from the darkness of space? Could the ancient whispers of Nibiru be more than just forgotten mythology? Throughout history, great civilizations have risen and fallen, often without clear explanation. The once mighty kingdoms of the past, Sumer, Akkad, the Indus Valley, the Olmecs, flourished in their time, only to be wiped away by forces that seemed to strike without warning. What if their destruction was not random? What if these collapses followed a cosmic pattern, one dictated by the passage of a celestial giant whose orbit brings it dangerously close to Earth every few thousand years? The Mayan long count calendar, so often misunderstood, speaks of cycles of creation and destruction, hinting at cosmic forces that periodically reset civilization. The Egyptians, too, recorded celestial disturbances that preceded the downfall of dynasties. The Hindus refer to the great Yuga cycles, epochs of rise and fall that dictate the fate of the world. Could these ancient warnings all be describing the same event, the return of Nibiru? Modern scientists may scoff at the idea, yet they cannot ignore the peculiar events unfolding in our solar system. Unexplained deviations in the orbits of distant celestial bodies suggest the presence of an unseen force, a gravitational disturbance that hints at something massive lurking in the outer reaches of space. Some call it Planet X, a hypothetical world that may one day be officially discovered. But is this truly a new discovery, or merely the rediscovery of something our ancestors already knew? Even on Earth, the evidence is unsettling. The Earth's poles are shifting faster than any time in recorded history. The magnetic field is weakening, exposing us to cosmic radiation in ways that could threaten global stability. Unprecedented hurricanes, record-breaking heat waves, earthquakes in regions once thought stable. Are these the early tremors of a cosmic reckoning? If the signs have been there all along, hidden in ancient texts, encoded in myths, then why have we ignored them? Is it arrogance, the belief that modern science holds all the answers? Or is it fear? Fear that these prophecies are not relics of the past, but warnings meant for us for this very moment. And if Nibiru is truly returning, then the most chilling question remains unanswered. How much time do we have left? Are we merely witnessing the beginning of its approach, or are we standing on the precipice of a great event, one that will change life on Earth forever? Perhaps the ancients knew that history is not linear but cyclical, that the same forces that shape the past will inevitably return to shape the future. Perhaps Nibiru has come before, and perhaps, even now, it is making its way back. Nibiru. A world lost in time, a celestial phantom drifting on the edges of human memory. It is a name whispered in ancient texts, a force lurking beyond the veil of our understanding, a legend that refuses to die. For centuries, scholars, astronomers, and seekers of truth have debated its existence. Is it merely a relic of ancient superstition, an echo of primitive fears, or is it something far more tangible, a harbinger of destruction, part of a vast cosmic cycle that humanity has forgotten, only to rediscover when it is already too late? History has a way of repeating itself. Civilizations have flourished, reaching heights of knowledge and power, only to vanish without explanation. The Great Flood, the fall of mighty empires, the sudden collapse of once thriving societies, were these merely random events, or were they part of a pattern dictated by forces beyond our comprehension? The ancients recorded celestial upheavals, cosmic disturbances, and divine retributions, leaving behind cryptic warnings carved into stone. Were these simply myths, or were they messages meant for those who would come after? Messages meant for us? If the past holds any truth, then we may stand on the precipice of something far greater than we can imagine. The signs, dismissed as mere anomalies, continue to mount. Strange shifts in the Earth's magnetic field, rising global instability, unexplainable disturbances in the heavens. Are these warnings that we are ignoring? Could we be repeating the same mistakes as those who came before us, too blind or too arrogant to recognize the storm before it arrives? In the end, the answer may not lie in textbooks or observatories, but in the wisdom of those who once ruled the earth and then vanished. The Sumerians, the Mayans, the Egyptians, all behind pieces of a puzzle, one that modern civilization has yet to complete. If Nibiru is real, if the Anunnaki were real, then what does that mean for us? Are we prepared to face the truth? Or will we, like our ancestors, be caught unprepared for the next great reckoning? The answer may lie in the heavens, and in the forgotten wisdom of the ancients. But what do you think? Have we already begun to see the signs? Are these myths warnings or merely coincidences? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to uncover more lost knowledge, make sure to subscribe for the next episode.